Mind Gap Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mind Gap Podcast. I'm Doug.
I'm Justin. And Doug, would you rather be the funniest person in the room or the smartest person in the room?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
What are we doing in the room?
Well, it's your favorite. It's a networking event.
Funniest.
It's a forced networking event.
Funniest person in the room by far. Because
Okay, why?
who gives a shit how smart you are in a networking event? If you're funny and you have that charismatic element to it, and you can also be like, boy, this fucking sucks, doesn't it? Right? We all don't want to be here, right?
We all know this.
We can all cut through it with humor and be like, we all know what's going on.
Right.
And just being able to charm people with humor, it's the best way to do it.
All right, I'm going to change it up then. Now we're at a math symposium.
Funniest guy in the room.
I was going to say same answer.
Right, same answer. Funniest guy in the room. Because
I would argue that if you are the funniest person in the room, there's a chance that you're up near the top of the smartest people in the room. Because to truly be funny, like people who are like, I remember that guy was funny, I feel like you've got to be super smart to be really funny. That's my own personal belief.
There's different types of smart, obviously. There's comedic smarts, right? Knowing when a joke is done, when to deliver said joke.
Sure.
When to
Absolutely.
not deliver said joke.
Yep.
I struggle with that. Sometimes
You?
I'm like,
No.
I'm like,
What?
this is really funny. I think I'm going to say it anyway. For me,
I'm gonna put a pin in that real quick. I want to ask you more on that. Do you go through an internal dialogue?
I do.
When you're going through that and like, I want to say it, but I don't think I should, but I really want to say it.
It goes really quick. It's a really quick conversation that happens in its own
It's one of those that
time.
happen. Exactly. It happens in a nanosecond, but if you were to jump inside your head, you're sitting down to a dinner and you're having a conversation. Like it's a fleshed out conversation, but it happens.
It's like a meeting in like, those war movies. There's a war council. Everyone's surrounded. There's a light in the middle and everyone's like, should we do this? All my advisors are like, we should launch the comedy
There's
missiles.
a map on the table and everyone's pushing little wooden figurines around.
And there's a guy with his like button-up shirt that's like rolled up to his elbows, and he's leaning on it. And he's like, Harry, he's like, we can't do this. Look at the map. Look what could possibly happen if we launch these missiles. Have you considered the cost? Have you considered the cost? What of the collateral damage? It's like, yeah, but it's funny. We got to do it.
Sir, we're ready. There's one guy at a switchboard or a big operating board. He's like, sir, we're running out of time. 5 seconds left.
If we don't do it now, it'll be weird. We got to do it in the next 5 seconds.
It'll be weird.
Or we'll miss our window. God damn it, man. Make a decision.
Yeah, I have the same thing where I'm just like, I shouldn't, but I want to, but I shouldn't. But what if I do? Yeah.
There's definitely certain situations where it's inappropriate, but it has to be done, like a church, where I'm like, I have no respect for this institution or this building, so I'm absolutely going to make a joke. Or a wedding, where I'm like, I kind of find the idea of weddings to be obnoxious. I'm like, I'm going to make jokes, And there's other times where you're just like, yeah, now's not the time.
Probably shouldn't have done that. Sorry, guys.
At work,
go over
a lot of times at work, it's like, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Keep that income, man. Don't do it.
Yeah. So you were saying there are a lot of different types of smart. There's
different types of smart because there's comedic smarts, right?
Yes.
But then there's also like when shit goes down, right, in your job, whatever it is, and they're like, hey, what's the right thing or what's the best way to go about this? They want to be like, who do I turn to? I don't know. Let's go to the funniest guy in the room. Hey, what do you think about this thing that's happening that's really serious right now? We're probably not going to turn to that guy, No.
I know. I fully agree with what you're saying, but I guess my point being is that there's sophomore kind of dumb humor. Like that's just like most of what we do on this show,
Yes.
which consists of, and that's named buzzsaw fart.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. That's wet.
But then there is what I would consider like the people who stand out and who are funny. I think they also have to have a level of some of my favorite either satirists or comedians are like look at Conan O'Brien. He's wildly hysterical. Went to Harvard, is very studied on a lot of different like I do think to be to be timelessly funny, I think you have to be one of the smartest people in the room, because I think it gives you a quicker wit. It allows you to speak on different subjects. It allows you to understand how to take a subject and turn it on its head. I think there's a lot of intelligence that goes along with really well done comedy.
There's certainly a level of intelligence. I didn't realize it, but I finished all of South Park. I was like,
you didn't realize you finished it?
I was finishing an episode and I'm like, oh, that's it? I got to the end? I thought this thing was just endless. I thought it just never stopped.
It's like finding the last page on the internet. You're like,
yeah.
wait, what?
I was like, oh, what? I totally thought there was going to be another episode after this. And it's like, nope, that's the end for now. And I'm like,
wow,
oh,
look
okay.
at you. That's not an easy task either.
It really is, actually. It's pretty simple to watch. We're not reading War and Peace here. Like, it's watching South Park, 22, 25-minute episodes. Like,
but there's, it's 382 episodes. I guess not as many as I thought. Still
I didn't start at the very beginning. I was like, I don't need to watch those beginning seasons.
I got you. Okay.
Those things are rough. I can't remember. I mean, I went through and just caught up on some of the ones that I liked. I don't remember which season I started, but I got to a point where I'm like, I haven't seen any of these. And I just kept going. I'm like, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. But the whole point of that is like, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, very smart in terms of how to take a topic and make it satire and make it interesting and make it funny. Yeah. Now, are those guys?
I'm not saying I want them to do my taxes, but I'm saying I don't think. I think you have. Smart intelligence and humor go hand in hand.
They should.
To your point, there's again. I'm not going to have them do my taxes. I'm not going to have them. I don't want them making foreign policies.
No.
Don't
really give a shit about their thoughts on the government.
Sure.
Most of the time.
Don't give a shit about a lot of people's.
The ability to take a concept and play with it and then make it funny and applicable, identifiable. I think that takes a lot of talent. And I do think it takes a level of intelligence to be able to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
But compare that when we say like the smartest person in the room, I view that as like, this is by far the smartest person.
Well, I think it goes back to what are we doing in the room?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are we like? Yeah, exactly.
Why am I specifically here?
Is it a room full of doctors and someone's choking and you're like, well, I'll tell you a joke to laugh it out of you.
Yeah, right. Like I'm not here to. It's like depends on it, but most of the time, the joy you get from making people laugh, I think, is just unrivaled. There's nothing like it. Yeah, there's nothing like it. It's been labeled a drug, which is why a lot of comedians like chase that. They chase the laughs because boy, does it feel good. And you see that in your everyday life. Even just making someone you love just laugh. And you're like, oh, I fucking nailed that. I feel so goddamn good. And if you can do it to strangers, oh man. That's
unlike anything else. If you can get a total stranger to be like, oh, I relate to what you just said, and it is very funny. Does Jill have a what we would call like an ugly laugh, where she gets to a point where she loses control of laughter? And
so like I won the day when that happens. I'm like,
if I can get
I'm done here.
To get into that laugh where she's like, she can't breathe, or it's that she's crying, or she keeps apologizing because she's laughing so much. If I can get her to that point, I'm fed for a while.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a goddamn win. Yeah. I'm like, I love it when that happens, because oftentimes when someone is laughing that hard, I can't help but laugh, like it's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
I'll tell you who used to have, and probably still does when we lived together though. And sure, there were substances involved that enhanced the laughter. But Milos, when something would get him going, he had this. It was like some sort of a siren was going off. He hit a frequency that like dogs would start barking in the neighborhood, and it was one of those where if he started doing that, everyone in the room was in tears because he couldn't. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't stop, and he has a great ugly laugh.
I'm sure you saw this clip. It was going around a little while ago, but some show, I think it was in the UK, put together like 9 people that had the weirdest laughs. Okay. And they put them on stage, and like one started to laugh, and which just made everyone else start to laugh. And you got to hear this chorus of very weird, borderline obnoxious laughs that people can't help. God. And it was one of the funniest goddamn things.
This was on a British TV show?
I think it was a British TV show.
Oh, man, I got to find this clip.
Yeah, put a pin in that and look that up.
I got to find this. That's amazing.
And there was another one I saw where it was an Indian show, and they were this one was laughing with a beat that all of a sudden it was like in front of like a live studio audience and they had a live band and the beat sounded like a traditional like Indian sort of like thing. So guys started going going along with it. The host was like, no, not cool. They're like, what? I mean, it fits, you know? I was like, that's fucking funny. The wherewithal as a musician to be like, hold on guys, let's go. Let's do this. Right.
What gets you to laugh that hard? Like what is there any one thing that you kind of have a go-to that gets you to laugh that hard? Because for me, it's stuff that catches me off. If you can truly catch me off guard with something, that's usually when I'll go full tilt ugly laugh.
I don't know. I haven't ugly laughed in a while. And I want to. I think the most recent one I laughed at is when I played that Goonies clip for you.
Oh God, that was there was a great, and that caught me off guard. I was so caught off guard.
That was great. Just watching. I will chuckle about that. I chuckle about last week's where I was or the last time I played it. And it was you pissed in someone else's pool. It's like and I'm fresh out of chlorine. You're like, well, do you realize how this sounds? And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh, now I hear it. Now I hear it because I'm like, all I hear is it's the movie. And you're like, yeah. Well, you isolate. You're like, oh my God, that's. Pretty insane. Like, what movies are you watching, man? Like,
right. We give him a whiff of my ass.
Just give him a whiff. He'll crawl right up it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I have had the Goonies one. I don't know if that was the biggest one I had in recent memory, but with the movie clip game, you are pretty consistent in catching me off guard with a lot of these clips because a lot of these clips out of context are batshit crazy.
They are.
They're bonkers.
Nuts. They're pretty nuts. That one, unfortunately, was like one of the first ones we did. And I was just like, that one just right out of the park. I'm like, oh, yeah. I heart that moment.
That was amazing. Yeah. I had a hard time coming back from that one.
That was great. And you still got it too. Cause I was like, out of context, this is insane. This is an insane lunacy, moment. Yeah. It's like, what is happening? The wet kiss and everything, the kids screaming,
right?
Sloth screaming. Like, what is happening? This is amazing.
It's so good.
So kudos to you for being able to be like, that's Goonies. I'm like, well done.
I needed like another 2 or 3 playthroughs on it so I can compose myself and get there. That was absolutely amazing.
That was good.
But yeah, so I want audience, let us know. What would you rather, the smartest person in the room, funniest person in the room? Where are you at on this?
Let us know.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what's happening in the room. Just in general, what would you rather be? Both of us want to be the funniest person, but that's because we're already so smart.
So yes. maybe you're healthier than we are. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what else is a sickness, Doug?
What's that?
Tipping. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, let me ask you, can I call on Practical Doug? Can I summon Practical Doug for a second here?
Here's the thing, Justin.
Yeah.
Practical Doug, he's always here.
Great.
That's my secret. He's
I
always
was worried
here.
I was going to have to pour salt into a pentagram or something and call him out, but this is okay. He's
Pull
here.
up an Excel spreadsheet, type in some functions to get him to summon,
Yeah, that's exactly.
Pull up the pivot table.
I am here.
You summoned me.
You summoned me. What can I do for you from a practical standpoint? Look, I've worked food service. I did a bar podcast with Mila. I understand the need for tipping when you are out and being served by someone and what that means and how the industry runs on that. I think we might have talked about this before. Certainly we are not the first people to talk about it. It's been ever since the pandemic. It has been a topic that has been brought up a lot, but I went and bought to the bakery just down the street, the one that I took you guys to when you were here, cute little bakery. I went and bought a loaf of bread for dinner tonight, and I didn't have them cut it or slice it or anything. They pulled the loaf out, they put it in a bag, and they handed it to me. And when the screen popped up, it said, before I could check out, it said, what do you want to tip? And there was your 10, 15, 20%, 22% custom skip. And I was like, I got kind of like flustered by it, as I usually do. I just hit custom and I hit $2. And I paid $2 extra for this loaf of bread that someone really didn't do anything. Like, they grabbed it off a shelf, put it in a bag, and handed it to me. Now, you could argue it's a small mom and pop shop, and they took the time to bake the bread and the ingredients. I would argue that's what I'm paying the value of it for. I don't know. The person who grabbed the bread for me was very kind. They were very nice. But I don't think there was a level of work that was done that would necessitate a tip. But I struggle with hitting skip. I don't know if there's a social component that makes me nervous about hitting skip or what they're going to think of me. Another case in point, before I turn this over to you, when I order a pizza, I'll go pick it up. I won't do delivery. If I do delivery, 100% without question, there's a tip. If I go and pick it up, when I'm ordering it online, it says, how much do you want to tip? And I'm always like, if I don't tip anything, are they going to spit in my pizza? Right? Are they going to give me some extra Fermunda cheese on this? Because I don't want that. And also I don't want to be known as like the guy that, this guy, he's ordering again. I don't want to get flagged in their system. You know what I mean? So I usually put a tip on there, but I'm like, I'm ordering it. They're making it. I'm paying the value for it and I'm going to pick it up. So what are your thoughts on the tipping craze that we are finding ourselves in?
I think the easy solution to this is to bake your own bread and make your own pizza. That'll solve your problem right there.
You're not wrong.
You're not cheaper, wrong, and you won't have to tip. So
you're not wrong.
There you
on
go.
all fronts.
On all fronts.
Moving on.
I'm generally in agreement with you that I think the I'm not the original person to say this, obviously, not by a long shot, but the idea of having to tip food services because they get paid so much less than like regular wages.
Yeah.
So the idea is that, which is it doesn't make sense why it ever even existed to begin with. Like, it's absurd.
Right. Yeah. Like, pay them what they're worth. Why we don't need to subsidize.
There's no reason why we're like, well, we pay them less because they get tips. It's like, well, who decided that? Like, who made that rule that's like, guess what? We're paying them lower, so you guys going to have to tip based on how good their service is. That's fucked up. That's really weird.
If you need to raise the price of food and do away with tips to make it all comes out in the wash. Just I would say, to your point, pay a living wage to start with.
Just pay them. Just pay them, and let's just do away with tipping altogether. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I think where it gets weird is like when I'm like, this person's getting paid a normal wage, and then it's like there's a tip on top of that. I'm like, that's kind of weird, right? Like, because there's this weird unwritten rule. It's like, if you hire movers, like, do you tip them?
Right, exactly. Valets,
like with movers, guys who are installing irrigation systems into your house. Do you tip them? Like,
oh yeah, you guys were here for that, weren't you?
Yeah, you're like, I gotta tip those guys, and I was sitting there being like, I don't know if I'd tip them. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird thing. It's an awkward thing for everybody involved, right?
It is, yeah.
Like, I don't know. So I Practical Doug would just be like, hey, let's just make it a price. Also, like, how about in the U.S., let's just include tax in the price. You know what I mean? Of everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be $9.99 and be like, yeah, it's roughly going to be 10 something. Just be like, no, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's what they do in Europe.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this is what the price is. It's not like, well, we got to add the taxes and things on after the fact. It's like, or you could just add it in.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the nice thing in Michigan is we don't pay tax on when we go to the grocery store. So I was floored when I was like, wait a second. I was looking at one of the receipts and I'm like, how does this? And I was like, oh, fuck, we don't have a grocery tax here? That's wild to me.
Yeah, you get taxed somewhere else though. That's for sure.
Oh no, we're paying somewhere. I'm not saying, but it's built. It's basically baked in, and it's nice because I was just like, cool. There we go. We don't have to do this whole song and dance that we're all in agreement for.
Yeah, it's really weird that we're like, cool. This is the base price, and when you go to check out and give them your cash, you'll now find out what the real price is. Dun dun dun.
Right.
The amount of times I'm like, oh, that's not too bad, and then you get the tax and surcharges and shit, and you're like, fuck.
Right.
This is way worse.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I agree. I think paying people a living wage, setting prices so it's 100% transparent, and there's no, there's nothing. There's at the checkout, you're not getting that surprise extra charge or whatever. I just think it's all unnecessarily complicated, and I don't know. I just don't know why. I don't know why we're doing it.
Well, I just remember even working at the hotel. People would be like, "Hey, man, how much do I tip the bell guy? Like for bringing in
housekeeping, or you're like, I don't know what the.
I'm just like,
what's standard?
$1 a bag. That's typically what I would tell them. Or like, those guys were union and they would get paid, and they just basically would get bonus from tips and stuff like that, which encouraged them to go out and do it. I mean, those guys were hustlers. I tell you what.
Oh sure.
Those guys would be like, whoa, we got a big family. Let's get that cart out there. Let's get them. Let's get those bags. They were. And there's other guys like when the bellman went around, the front desk would do it, and there's the other people be like, dude, let me get the bags. I'm like, all yours. I have zero interest in dealing with other people's luggage. I have no interest. You can do all of them as far as I'm concerned. You rake in whatever tips you want. Yeah. I will take the loss on that because I don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah.
And the handful of times I had to do it, it sucked. I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I hate everything about it. I don't have anything to do with it. And if I worked in one of those jobs and I was getting paid a fair wage, I would not feel guilty. I would not feel bad. If someone didn't want to tip, I'm like, whatever, man. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, that's how I would be. I'm like, I don't care.
But I think that's the other thing is like, I don't know what these people are getting paid at the bakery or at the pizza place or whatever.
And I think
like,
that there has to be a general understanding of that, right? Like, we don't see what their pay stubs are every week. So like, I'm assuming if you're not in the typical realms of where you get paid with tips, like I'm not going to do that. Or if I do, I'm like, fine, 10% on a $9 thing, you get 90 cents. Congratulations. Like, whoopity-doo. Like you got an extra 90 cents on that sort of stuff. Like, that's fine. I'll do something like that or whatever. But like for the most part, I'm just like, I don't know. If I hit no, I hit no. I'm like, whatever. Yeah. Later, dude. Nothing personal. It just is what it is. It
just is what, I think, and that's the thing I think there is, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why I have such a social anxiety around
you don't want to be an
zero. Asshole. I mean, I don't know, but it's weird that there is that feeling now, of
by design.
It's by design. It absolutely is because I mean, you've seen people do this on TikTok or Instagram or different comedy shows. Like it well documented. People have done a lot of humor about it, but like they have that where it's designed 10, 20 or 10, 15, 20, 22%. And then there's that skip button where they make you decide. It's not even like you just sign your name and that like to get past this screen, you have to actively deny me this tip. And they'll stand there and watch you while they do. Now the nice ones are the ones who, when they flip it around, if you're like at a counter, they'll flip it around to you to do that. And then they'll go do something else. They'll go clean a dish or they'll go put something away.
What a weird social interaction.
So they're not there. You don't have to feel. I know. It's just weird,
just so dumb. It's like negotiating.
I hate it.
Hey man, just say your price. Just say your price. Right. I'll say my price. Like we have to be like, go really, really high, and I'll go really, really low, and then we'll slowly I'm just like, what's the price, man? What are you looking at? Yeah. Just tell the truth. Okay. Yeah. It's fine.
So
let's get through this.
I just want to know what Practical Doug's thought was on that.
Practical Doug is like tipping's dumb.
It has been eating at me.
I support the people that live on tips, but I think we should pay people a fair wage and not have to do tips. I think everyone would be better for it. So.
I fully agree to all of those points. Yes.
And if we can have a congressperson, a real life congressperson in the United States put forth a bill that says they want giving the president of the United States authorization to enter into negotiations to acquire Greenland and rename it Greenland as Red, White, and Blue Land, I think we can get rid of any situation where we have to deal with tips. So,
we have the ability to do anything we want. We obviously, I'm sorry.
Guys, the sky's the limit. That's all I have to say.
We are making this into with the Gulf of America and Red, White, and Blue Land. And if you guys don't know, listening, if you don't know what we're talking about, just type in Red, White, and Blue Land, and you'll come to it.
A real congressperson, real life congressperson, Representative Earl Buddy Carter from Georgia,
Carter
put in a bill authorizing President Trump to purchase Greenland and rename it Red, White, and Blue Land because
authorizing him to enter negotiations to purchase or acquire it in some other way.
Yeah.
But renaming it this way, again, we're making this.
First of all,
it's like Adventureland, Tomorrowland, Red, White, and Blue Land. Like this is a theme park. We're making this.
I don't have a marketing background, but I could do better. I could do better than that. All right. I could do way, way better than that. But actually, that is the perfect segue into our next little topic here. This is a surprise. Justin doesn't know anything about this.
I've literally been waiting. Doug messaged me this morning and said, I've got a surprise for you.
I've got something real special here for everybody. If you listened to episode 477 titled, Should We Remix the National Anthem? We put out a challenge to Richie Armour from the You Haven't Heard This Music podcast to remix the national anthem for the United States. And just this morning, I got a little message from our buddy, and he has sent a new anthem that I think we should adopt. So before we get started,
this is a Mind Gap exclusive.
I'm so happy right now.
Lock in, everybody. Excited. I hope you're ready to hear America's new national anthem. Let's go.
Oh, say, can you see By the dawn's early light, a shotgun in one hand and President Trump in sight. With freedom to choose and hot dogs to munch, we've got guns and some snacks and a vape for the lunch. Oh, we're high on the flag and low on our cash, but we'll drive through the night and still make it back with freedom and fries and some fireworks too. Let's party all night, 'cause the dream is true. I can still get crack and smack at the street fair with the sounds of the mall and the thrills in the air. We'll shoot from the hip while we ride on our bikes in this land full of freedom and rolling dice. Oh, we're high on the flag and low on our cash, but we'll drive through the night and still make it back with freedom and fries and some fireworks too. Let's party all night, 'cause the dream is true. I can still get crack and smack at the street fair with the sounds of the mall and the thrills in the air. We'll shoot from the hip while we ride on our bikes in this land full of freedom and rolling dice. We're high on the flag, low on our gas, but we'll party all day with a drink in the glass. It's America, yeah, with chips in our hands, and if you don't like it, you can take it and run, man.
Imagine this playing before a sporting event, right? You get me pumped up.
Daytona 500.
Right? High on the flag, low on our cash, but we'll drive through the night and still make it back with freedom and fries and some fireworks too. Let's party all night, 'cause the dream is true. Okay.
I feel patriotic right now.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
The dream is true. I can still get crack and smack at the street fair with the sounds of the mall and the thrills in the air. We'll shoot from the hip while we ride on our bikes in this land full of freedom and rolling dice.
The rolling dice part's fun.
Right?
Yeah, rolling dice.
Rolling dice,
We're high on the flag, low on our gas, but we'll party all day with a drink in the glass.
How long is this
America,
song?
It's almost over.
with chips in our hands, and if you don't like it, you can take it and run, man. We're high on the flag.
Yeah, that's basically it. You got
That's
the
it.
point. Yeah.
Thunder! Dude!
Yeah.
Richie, that's a banger! That
Yeah,
is
man.
a banger!
Yeah, man.
Well done, Richie Armour. My God.
You haven't heard this music podcast? Go check it out for really cool stuff.
Seriously,
Music-related and
please,
otherwise.
if that's not a plug for that podcast, I don't know what is. That is.
Yeah, man.
Doug and I have both been on there together. We've been on separately. I don't think any of our appearances holds a flame to what you just heard. That is peak Richie right there. That's
what I love
amazing.
about it is he heard it and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this.
I got
I'm gonna
you. I
deliver
got
it."
you guys.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
he took
thank you,
care of it.
Rich. That
So-
made my week. Oh my
Yeah.
God. It's Monday and that made my week. I can tell you right now, it's not going to get better.
No.
It's-
But yeah, it's.
Did he title it? Tell me he titled it.
He didn't. He didn't
Okay.
title it anything specific. It is just.
It's just the
he
new
just
national
wrote
anthem.
it was just an email with the with the subject EDM national anthem attached.
So proper. I love it. Oh my God. I can't tell you how happy that made me. That's incredible.
What's
Holy
funny is
shit.
it reminds me of when I was in college, my senior year. One of my roommates worked at a summer camp,
Okay.
and he had a couple of guys that were from abroad. I can't remember where they were from. One guy was from somewhere, I want to say in Southern or Central Asia. Another guy was like in one of the Germanic countries. And one night they
Okay.
came over and we're just shooting the shit. And I go, I gotta know, like, what are your guys' just overall perceptions like of America? Like, you obviously, you know, this guy, you know me or whatever. I go, and honestly, they're like, I don't want to say. I go, be honest, dude, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
The guy from Asia just goes, very fat, very fat.
Very fat.
Very fat. And I was like, yeah. I forget what the other guy said, but like they were just, I was like, the perceptions of who we are.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like,
sad.
you hear that song, and it's like, it's guns, it's drugs, it's holding a chip in my hand, you know, like
I would
it's
love
fireworks,
to know,
you know.
I would love to know how, like, what went into, because I don't know what system he uses, but I would love to. We need to have Richie back on so we can just in general. But I think we need to have him back on so we can discuss what went into the production of this. Because did he feed it like the actual national anthem? Did he feed it any information about what America is, or did he just say make an EDM version of a new national anthem, and like it just scraped the internet and that's
based
what it
on
found?
America?
Yeah, like it's again fascinating because it ticks all the tropes of basically who we are and how we and hot dogs to munch on.
Right?
That fucking slayed me.
Yeah, it's very interesting because, you know, going back to the national anthem stuff, like that thing was written in the late 1700s, right? Like, does that
Somewhere
encapsulate
there, yeah.
who we are now? I don't think so.
Yeah,
You know
no.
what I mean? Like,
Most people don't, when they sing it in a sporting event, they can't even get the words right.
yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it was referencing, you know, a very specific point in time, you know,
Yeah.
and people are like, we listen to it. And I'm like, that doesn't mean shit to us anymore. You know, like
When was this?
part of me is like, yeah, maybe we should update it, you know?
Yeah,
But
yes.
But good luck deciding what the song's actually going to be, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what it's going to sound like, and
I think
everything like that.
Okay, so if that guy, we need to, ladies and gentlemen, please, we'll make this available for download. Download this, send it to your local congressperson, your local representative, and let them know that you would like them to introduce a bill the same way that that Senator Buddy did. You know, old Senator Buddy. If he can do it, we need to please someone submit this to be the new fucking. I might do it. Fuck it. I might. I've got the MP3. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. Representative Skolton, here comes an email to you. Here comes an email.
Look out.
That's
so.
Man, Rich, you understood the assignment and you excelled on the assignment. Well
Thank
done.
you, Richie.
And
Appreciate you, buddy.
Holy
it was very,
cow.
very fun.
Jesus.
Speaking of very fun,
I'm hungry
let's talk about some fun restaurant stuff.
Yeah.
So there is a restaurant in Sydney, Georgia, I'm assuming.
False.
In Sydney, Australia. It's always fun to take like these really big things and be like,
Right.
Sydney, Missouri.
Yeah.
Because there's Paris, Tennessee, you know, so
Right.
fuck them for doing that. So, boy, I'm going to hit myself for saying this. Nanji Chu, the owner of the popular Vietnamese restaurant Lady Chu in Potts Point in Sydney's inner city, did a really cool thing. Because first of all, I nothing Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day is one of the dumbest days
Amen, brother.
on our calendar. I disagree with it wholeheartedly because at this point, we all understand the game that's being played here. We're all being told this is the day you are supposed to show the person that you love them.
Right.
And it's supposed
This
to
is a day
include
for
flowers,
love.
chocolates, dinner, blah, 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 blah. I
Anything
think
you
it's
can
dumb.
find, anything you can find in the specialty aisle of CVS because on your way home from work because you forgot, whatever it is.
It's so stupid. And I'm so grateful that Jill does not participate in this and does not expect us to participate. We think it's dumb. We always have. We always will. It's a dumb holiday. And this woman was like, you know what we're going to do for Valentine's Day at our restaurant? We're going to have fortune cookies, but we're going to have specially made fortunes in them that are very filthy. They're very rude. They've got profanity in them. And
Vulgar fortune cookies.
she made these, put in a special order with the manufacturer, and then she got an email from the manufacturer that said, "Hi, Happy New Year. Hope you had a good break over the holiday season. Unfortunately, we had some issues at the end of last year where your messages were mistakenly mixed into other customers' orders. These customers were quite upset to find these messages inside their cookies, and as a result, management have decided to no longer accept customized orders with offensive or expletive words. We're happy to continue accepting orders, however, with no profanity in the messages. Another option, some of our customers purchase empty cookies from us and insert the images or the messages themselves. So an example of one of the messages that was in there was,
amazing.
You are capable of great things, but all you do is look at your phone all day. You won't be that great. Sorry.
I think my favorite one is I only married you for your money, you ugly cunt.
That's a great one.
And again, it's Australia, so they can say it.
The year of the snake bears good fortune. Your divorce is coming soon. You know,
It's just like it's such a good send up of again, we talk about is the joke you're offended, sure, but was the joke good? This is great. This is great.
Great
Like what a great send up of this holiday and of just of taking it too seriously and a lighthearted personal thing. But yeah, then they made the mistake of shipping her cookies or some of her cookies in with other customers' orders. So some random restaurant in Australia
got that one.
got these, got a bunch of these mixed in. And I can imagine that their customers probably weren't happy. But again, not this lady's problem.
No, not her fault.
No.
And I love the concept behind it. I think it's great because fortune cookies are just kind of a silly thing anyway, right? They're just a bunch of random things that just say just vague things about whatever. And
Yeah.
there's an ongoing joke that you're supposed to add in bed,
Sure.
after them or whatever. Just so the idea to be like, you know what? Let's amp this up a little bit. Let's make them rude. Let's make them profane. Let's do this on Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
So that
It's a
people
great
could take
day.
this and they could, because if I was like out and about and I got a fortune cookie and it just said, I only married you for your money, you ugly cunt, I'd laugh my ass off.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I'd be like,
I would be-
that's funny.
I would immediately go back to the restaurant and say, who placed the order for these? Because I want to shake their hand. This is
Yeah.
They would
You're
get
like,
my bit. That would be the only Chinese place I would go to. Period. Like hard stop.
Vietnamese place, Justin.
Sorry, Vietnamese. I say Chinese because that's the places I go in Grand Rapids. So
Mm-hmm. You ever been to a Vietnamese restaurant, Justin?
probably I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wasn't that memorable is what you're saying.
Doug, you ever been to Ryan's
Don't turn this
Steakhouse?
around on me. Don't turn this around on me.
I'm just asking questions.
Just asking questions.
Just
Let me answer
asking
your question
questions,
with a question. Have
simple
you
questions.
eaten at my
a Ryan's
ass?
Steakhouse?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember the very last time I ate at a Ryan's Steakhouse.
You remember the fortune cookies they have there for some inexplicable reason?
I don't recall getting fortune cookies at Ryan's. I sure don't. Did they have fortune cookies?
Probably. I don't remember. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
The last time I went to Ryan's Steakhouse, I was in college. It was over the summer. I went in there. I hadn't showered in like 2 days. I was just kind of like, being a bum over the summer.
Is this
And
the
I
one
went
down
in
on
there.
John Deere?
I may have
Were
been
you
the
in
one on
college?
John
Yeah.
Deere. It was in the Quad Cities.
Yep.
I went there. I sat down there at like lunchtime, and I got like the Chinese buffet section of their
sure.
head, and I was sitting there and I was eating. I was just looking around. It was one of the saddest, like just seeing all the people that were in there. The food, even that back then, I was like, this food isn't that good. I remember like
something's
just
wrong with this.
being like, man, Ryan's Steakhouse is really, really good. And then I sat down, I was like, this is not that good. That was a big moment for me in my, like, I don't know,
Like your
like
realization.
20-year-old Doug
Yeah.
being like, this, I don't think I'm going to come back here. I never did. That was the last time I ate there. I was like, this place is gross. This is not a good place to be. So,
But point being, if I were to go to a restaurant and they had this, I would go back and that would be the only restaurant I'd go to because that is grade A level. That is grade A level. Not insubordinate. Well, what's the? I lost my train of thought. What's the word I'm looking for?
comedy.
It's comedy. Yeah, it's
comedy.
irreverence. That is grade A level irreverence, and I'm here for it.
Well, that's why the Wiener Circle in Chicago is so beloved, right?
Yes,
Because you're so used to
absolutely.
being like, that's why places like Ed DeVevick's and whatever, where
Yeah.
people enjoy that because they're like, oh, it's different. They're going to treat us like crap. They're going to make fun of us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
They're
So
going to
she.
talk to me about how small my wiener is at the Wiener Circle, you know?
So they basically told her we'll no longer be accepting orders with anything vulgar or no cuss words, nothing like that in there. And she got her order back, and she has been having to insert them herself. She got empty cookies that she's now hand putting all these messages in, and I think this the place that she ordered them from, I'd say 100%. their mistake. They need to whoever was packing the orders needs to have a performance review. That's
100%.
the person that needs to have a conversation. This woman
Now,
should not.
granted,
Have to,
they may not be set up. Well, obviously, if they're able to take custom orders, they have to have some sort of process in
you
place,
would
right?
think, yeah.
So, and to know that what these things are printed, like you can't get this shit mixed up, man. Like this is legit. Like cunt is on some of these things. Like you can't just be tossing those out. You know what I mean?
Sending that out. Yeah, exactly. What if it goes to a religious Vietnamese restaurant?
Yeah, right.
That's not going to be good.
Yeah, right.
I like the fact that she sent the email back saying, like, I don't see how this is my problem. My orders are private and it's my IP. And if your factory gets it messed up with other people's orders, that's your error, not mine. I fucking love the fact that she stood right up for it. But then at the end, she also goes, I'm still going to order from them because they're the best value. So but this is the cool thing. I'm going to take out the profanities and just be creative. They'll still be funny and rude, just no swear words. And I'm like, see, this is someone who get smartest person and funniest person in the room right here because she's like, I can do this without swearing.
She's not wrong in that it's not her fault. It's not her problem.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But also, I also don't want to put these in by hand. So, you know.
That's insane. Yeah.
It's a lot of time, a lot of effort, and that's boring. So if I did that, I'd be breaking a lot of cookies, unfortunately, because that's just, I know how I am.
Oh, God. Can you imagine trying, because some of the fortune cookies are pressed in such a way that, there is no, I don't know if, how the machine, there is no room to get the fortune in, or, you have to break the cookie. I don't even know how you're getting the fortune in some of these cookies. Very, very.
The seal.
So they come open, then you got to lick it and close it up. Okay.
Lick it and stick it. Yeah.
Lick it and stick it. And that's your fortune. You know what your fortune is? You're going to get herpes.
Yeah, you're going to get something.
You're going to get something, and you're not going to like it.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. I did all these individually. Here you go. What? Licked them all myself. Enjoy. That also reminds me, I went to Quad City's known for the great culinary delights. I went to a Chinese restaurant there. I ate, and the server that came out, first of all, big red flag. It was a white dude. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't know. I don't feel like this is, I don't know. Just don't trust it. And can we have straws for our drinks? He goes, gotcha. They're all unwrapped, and he just goes, boop, boop.
Oh,
boop,
no.
and put them all in our drinks. And everyone at the table, as soon as he left, immediately took the straws out and put them down. They're like, what the fuck? Just unwrapped. Just let me put them in all your drinks for you. Like, what the fuck, man?
He's got his hands full, so he brings the straws out in his mouth, and he's like, "Here you go.
Hold on, guys, I got you. Hold on, here we go.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3. It's just like, what the fuck?
I will say though, in college, you can make fun of it all you want, but Hy-Vee Chinese. There's no better value right there than for a broke college kid. I dream about that.
It just sounds like you're saying some code word to get into like a speakeasy. It's like Hy-Vee Chinese. Like you paused. I'm like,
Blue Lagoon.
What?
You know Hy-Vee, the store.
I know Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
Never eaten their Chinese food.
You never went to like they've got that hot section where
Absolutely not.
They've got like in one section it's all American. They've got like meatloaf and mac and cheese and fried chicken and everything, and then they've got their Chinese section. Then they got their Italian section. No? Oh, fucking! No. It's a culinary wonders of the world, Doug. You got to go. Yeah. You got to go check out. It's like going to Epcot and eating your way around the world. But it's just one long line.
I'd rather do that at Disney World and see those poor bastards who actually come from those countries to work fast food and not get tipped.
You're missing out. Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. No, they had everyone behind the counter, whatever section they were in, they looked like they had come to work there and be like, I'm going to bring my specialty. And they were like, shit, this is the job I signed up for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hy-Vee. There's really, what I'm trying to say is there's no difference between Hy-Vee and Disneyland.
Hy-Vee, Chinese. Let me in.
Let me in.
That's our new password moving forward. Don't tell anybody. All right. Everyone listening, don't tell anybody. It's our new password.
Yeah. Just
you want to get into the mind gap shit? You got to say Hy-Vee Chinese.
If you want to join the Discord server, it's the password to log in as mind gap or it's Hy-Vee Chinese. Yeah.
Hy-Vee Chinese. And then a long 5-second pause.
How do you type in a pause? That's on you to figure out.
Fucking figure it out. Hey, Justin, you ready to figure out some shit? You ready to do it?
Oh, I'm ready, Doug.
Let's go, baby. It's time again for Guess That Movie by the Audio. Guess who's back? That's right. All right.
Is that a new one? Because that seemed more aggressive than usual.
That's pretty
I don't
aggressive.
remember that one. I feel like I would.
I think
remember
that's
that
called
one.
Master Blaster. That's what it's called.
Yeah, that sounds right. That tracks. Amply named.
So this game, it's very simple. I'm going to play Justin some audio clips. They are from movies, and he has to guess which movie they're from. And these are now devolving into like, these are just random lines that live in my head that I think about occasionally. And I'm like, oh yeah. If you were to say this line to me, I'd be like, I know what movie that's from, you know? So here we go. No sound effects this week, just lines. All right. You ready for the first one?
Ready.
I'm gonna go get the papers. Get the papers.
Want to go get the papers? Get the papers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Jill and I say this to each other all the fucking time.
So it's a mob movie. It's like Johnny Two Times or something, right? Is the guy's name? Doesn't he say like he says things twice?
Something like that, yeah.
Because is it like a Bronx Tale or Casino or something like that, where there's one like they're going through like that's so and so, that's Johnny Two Times. That's
You're right.
Is it a mob movie?
It is a mob movie.
Okay. Play
You're
for
like-
me. It's Dick Tracy. No.
Boy, do I forget about that movie.
Right?
Man, that was such a big deal.
I came across some clips of that randomly. I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I went through a bunch of. I was looking at Pacino stuff, and one of his.
That's right. He was in that
Yeah,
movie.
I know. Yeah, one of his things came up, and they were going around the table like Babyface and Flat Top and like all the.
That looks like Garbage Pail Kids.
They did, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this movie."
All those
got
insane
made.
prosthetics.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. So
You know what I
anyway.
remember most about that? It was the McDonald's tie-in that they had because like
Yes.
you were getting all like the collector's cups and shit with it. Like it was insane. It was
The best thing
batshit.
is we've lived into an era now though where we have the Dick Tracy communicator
I know.
on our watch because there's a
It's not what we
walkie-talkie
thought it would
feature
be.
and it's the same color and everything as Dick Tracy. I'm just saying.
And it's terrible.
It's not terrible.
terrible.
Have you used it? I sent you a
I'm gonna go
request.
get the papers. Get the papers.
There you
I
go.
sent you
got
a
it.
request and
You
you've
got it
never.
again.
All right, Dick Tracy.
Final answer.
I'm gonna go get the papers. Get the papers. I'm gonna say. Is it a Bronx Tale?
No,
Fuck. Is it Casino? I'm just gonna guess the standard
No.
ones. Goodfellas.
it is Goodfellas.
Yay! I did it.
First try.
Which we can edit that out in post. So yeah, Goodfellas.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Give me the scene again on that one.
So it's a whole sequence where there's a bunch of voiceover of Ray Liotta is describing a whole bunch of people from the crew,
Yeah.
and they're at the Copacabana Club, and there's Nicky the Killer, there's Jimmy the Nose, and Timmy Ball's brother, Bitchy and whatever, and it's like whatever this guy was like Tommy Two Times because he always says things twice, like
I'm gonna go get the papers. Get the papers.
This wasn't the scene where Pesci is telling the joke, right?
it's just before
Pesci,
okay. Yeah, like
Yeah.
It leads almost
That
right into
that club. Yeah. Okay.
exactly that club. Yes.
All right, I got you. See,
Jill and I are always like, I'm gonna get when we say something twice, sometimes we're like, I'm gonna get the papers. Like we just say it back to
I
each
love
other.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun stuff. All right. Good job. You got it. Let's go on to the next one.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Out of
Again,
context. Out of context. Hilarious.
It's amazing. Because I didn't kill my wife. Don't give a shit.
Don't give a shit. I'm trying to sleep. I work third shift. Go away. Stop watering your lawn.
Stop shoveling at 3 a.m, David.
I didn't kill my wife. Fuck you.
No one asked.
I don't care.
Don't care. I'm trying to sleep.
That's like week 3 of The Neighbors, just being like, had enough of it. I don't care.
That is The Fugitive.
That is The Fugitive.
That is The
yes.
Fugitive. Oh man, great.
I love Tommy Lee Jones's response to that. That's my favorite thing. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm here to hunt you down.
That's I got one prerogative. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to get
U.S.
you, you son
Marshals
of a bitch.
hunting you down. Yeah.
One more time.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
The funniest part is because he sounds so far away in the clip. Like
I know.
it's- Like obviously we are Harrison Ford's POV, and Tommy
Right.
Lee Jones is all the way.
I don't care.
So good.
If you haven't seen that movie, Harrison Ford's character basically has got a gun.
It's not funny.
He's pointed at Tommy Lee Jones, who's trying to catch him, and Tommy Lee Jones realizes he's dropped his gun in this water, and he turns around with his hands up, and he sees Harrison Ford pointing his gun. And he's like,
Yeah.
I didn't kill my wife. He's like, I don't care.
Oh, man.
Oh, so great out of
Fucking
context. All right, here we go. Last one.
Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you.
Why wait?
Soon.
Was that it? Oh, sorry.
Very tense moment.
The way you edited it with...
There was a lot of pausing that like visually was cutting
yeah.
to different reactions, so I just sort of like trimmed it down.
When you trimmed it down, like the audio dips fully out for, so I didn't know what I was like, am I waiting for one more one more piece of dialogue or not?
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Yes, please.
Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you.
Why wait?
Why wait?
Soon.
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 So it's either it's not Mel Gibson, is it?
It is Mel Gibson.
It is Mel Gibson. Okay. Before this war is over, I'm going to kill you. Oh, wait, Braveheart?
Yeah, the Scottish accent give that one away.
Listen, show me one movie he's ever had an Australian accent, and he's from quote unquote Australia. I don't.
Yeah.
I think that's Braveheart.
Yeah, let's listen to this great Scottish accent here.
Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, that sounds. Do you not hear it?
Why wait?
And that guy, it's so Mel Gibson's doing a Scottish accent, and the other guy's doing a full-on French accent.
Yeah,
Do you
it sounds
not
like
hear-
me doing accents is what it sounds like.
What are we not? Am I listening to the same thing? Let's see. What movie was he? What movie was he in a war? And before this war is over, I'm going to kill you.
He was only in one more movie.
Braveheart. Was it Hacksaw Ridge?
I don't think he was in that one.
Did he just direct it?
I don't know. Probably. Because it dealt with Christianity.
I'm blanking. What the fuck? Why am I blanking? Was it Lethal Weapon 3?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
What Women
Was he
Want?
in a war in that movie?
Yes.
A war of his emotions.
A war of emotions. What Women Want?
Oh, now we're getting close.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm down the right track. Got it. Okay.
Before this war.
So was it The Beaver?
the beaver?
Yeah.
Now we're getting closer.
All right, here we go. All right. Was it Ransom?
It was not Ransom.
No? Okay. Cool. I'm honest to God, I'm blanking on what more movie Mel Gibson was in before this war is over. Or was it a mob movie? Or was it an actual war movie?
Yeah.
Like, is he talking about a real war or like a turf war?
Doesn't matter. When you're looking down the barrel of a loaded gun, do you ask yourself, what's the difference?
I don't care.
I don't care. I should isolate that
Before
one
this-
bit
yeah,
and just play.
before this
I don't
war's-
care.
Before this war is over, I'm going to kill you. I don't care.
That's so good.
I might have to concede on this one.
This movie came out in the year 2000.
Okay.
Does that help?
No.
Right around 4th of July. It's a pretty big deal.
Independence Day.
That's true. It's
No?
very close to Independence Day.
Thin Red Line. Captain Morelli's Mandolin. Band of Brothers.
Directed by Roland Emmerich. That help?
Independence Day?
He also directed Independence Day.
I was right on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, man. Nothing.
All right.
Keep going. Who else was in it?
Heath Ledger was in this film.
Dark Knight?
Also true, yeah.
The
man.
A Knight's Tale.
Nope. The man opposite who says, "Why wait?" is Jason Isaacs.
Yep. I'm gonna say I got no clue. I got no clue, Doug.
It's from the very historically accurate The Patriot.
God damn it. That movie's so forgettable.
Disagree,
That movie
Justin.
Is so forgettable.
That movie is. God damn it! If there's a guilty pleasure, that one's mine. Like, that one is not a good movie, but boy, do I love watching it. It is not good. It is such a sad depiction of. I love it how, like, all the British colonizers all have just straight up American accents. They're just like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know, they're like, of course, Benjamin Martin, which is who Mel Gibson plays, you know, has, you know, black people on his land. You know, at one point the British come to claim the land, and they're like, the slaves will come with us. They're like, we're not slaves, sir. We work the land as free people. And he's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. They do not. You guys are in South Carolina. Absolutely, you are not free people.
Right.
You copied and pasted. You're like, well, these are the good people. These are the good guys. So the good guys obviously don't believe in slavery. I mean, come on.
Well,
it's like, no, you're in South Carolina. Of course they're slaves. Unbelievable. Anyway. Good job, Justin. You did the best you could.
Hey, thank you, Doug. I tried.
I don't care.
I don't. Yeah. Give it to me again. You did the best you could. I don't care.
I don't care.
Man, I genuinely the movie was just so forgettable.
Yeah, that is a pretty. I do like that line in the movie because Jason Isaacs' character is trying to. Because at that point in the movie, Mel Gibson's character has come and has done a negotiation with General Cornwallis to free his men who had been captured. Mm-hmm. But it's all a ruse. But as he's leaving the fort, Jason Isaacs sees him and is like, "That's the guy who's basically been murdering our troops. We got to get him." And they're like, "Well, he hasn't shown any hostility here, so he's treated as a non-combatant." He goes, "Oh, he hasn't." So he's trying to goad him into doing something rash.
Sure.
He's like, "I remember you. You're the guy and that stupid boy that I killed." He's like, just really trying to. He killed his son.
Yeah.
And then he's basically just like, you know, doing all this stuff. And there's this pause, and he just looks at him. He's like, "Before this war is over, I'm going to kill you." He's like, "Why wait?" And he's like, Soon. Tonight. And he turns and walks away. So it's like a really intense moment. The way he says it, I'm like, fuck, that's pretty intense. So, you know, but not a great movie. Anyway, thanks for playing, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy.
I had a good time. I love this.
Let us know if you got any of those, you know, gang. Justin, what do you got to recommend this week?
Oh boy, watched. I'll say this. I just because I'm a fanboy, I'm gonna say, and this isn't gonna be for everyone, but I had such a great the last 2 weeks or so leading up to this last weekend was I was like a kid in a candy shop. I watched so much SNL content. So on Peacock, they've got a 4-part docuseries. Each one documents a different, like one is it's like an hour-long episode that documents the audition process, and it talks to like 60 different cast members, and they go through like, what is the audition process like? What was your first? What was, you know, what did you see? It was like Andy Samberg and Bill Hader and fucking Dana Carvey, like they just everyone. And they play back some of their auditions for him, and it's wildly awkward, and it's incredible to see. Second episode focuses on, I think, gosh, I'm trying to remember what it is. Second episode was something like, I don't know, musical guest or something. Third episode was dedicated to just the cowbell sketch, talking about how it came together and the legacy that it's had. And the last one, I don't remember what all 4 of them were about, but those 2 for sure. It's a wonderful 4-part documentary series. There also is a 2-hour full feature-length documentary done by Questlove that is a music documentary, and it talks about the musical legacy of SNL. He watched, I guess, he watched every musical performance that had ever aired on SNL, and then it took him 6 months to edit together the 7-minute intro to the film, and it is a master class in editing. It's fucking amazing. So there's those, like that docuseries, that documentary. Then there is the Saturday night, the movie that came out. On Friday, they did a live 3-hour concert in Radio City Music Hall. And then on Sunday, last night, from when we're recording this, they did the 3-hour SNL 50th anniversary show. So if you like SNL, if you have any interest in that, if it's ever played an important part in your life, go seek out some of the stuff.
Subscribe to Peacock. And,
subscribe to Peacock, and you can get some of the stuff.
What a weird
it's
plug
fantastic.
for Peacock, Justin. That's all
You're
this
welcome.
is.
That's all. This is a long plug for Peacock.
You go back to your work and be like, "Can I get a tip, please, for referring people to Peacock?"
Bonus, please.
Bonus. I have a bonus.
Yeah, no, it's just there's just a lot of really cool, and being that it turned 50, it holds such a special, weirdly sacred space in my mind and my heart. Like I just love the whole lore around SNL. So this has been a fantastic 2 weeks of just consumption of this stuff. So if you're interested in any of the behind the scenes, how the sausage is made, these are really well done documentaries, and I think they're a lot of fun. So I would recommend going and seeking them out if you're into that stuff. So, Doug, what do you got?
I am 21 hours into Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I was going to say, why should I even ask what you're? That's
This
right,
Inevitable Ruin. Fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it's so good. I got like 7 hours left, and I'm sad because I'm like, that's not a whole lot left at this point.
Because who knows? When's the next one going to come out? It's going to be a while, right?
For a long time. Not for a long time.
What's the cadence between these that he's been putting out?
I don't really know because I got into it when 6 of the books had already been out.
Okay.
And he was basically finishing up the 7th book.
Got it.
So by Matt Dinneman, by the way. But this is so good. What I love about the book is, the audiobook is just fantastic. Just so well done. Just voice acting by Jeff Hayes. So good. But things don't happen the way that you think they're going to happen.
Okay.
You know? Like there's just a lot of twists and turns, and not like, whoa, what a twist. You're just like, oh, there's probably going to be a big fight that happens, but it doesn't happen the way that you think it is. Like what goes down is always surprising. Every element of it, I'm like, wow, I didn't see that coming. That's really
not
cool.
easy to do.
Yeah. And, because there's a lot of times you're like, oh, there has to be some epic duel between this or that. And it's like, this will get resolved, but probably not the way that you think. And it's not necessarily disappointing.
Sure.
But this book is huge because it takes place on the 9th floor, which is a big deal in this universe because the 9th floor is what they call faction warfare, where all these other outside forces come in and they basically just play a game of big swinging dick, where they purchase a place and they play fight with each other, and the crawlers are just caught in the middle of all of it. And usually the crawlers get the shit handed to them. They just try to hide while these people just basically just sit there and, fuck around for the whole floor. But in this edition of The Crawl, Carl has made it so that the people that are in there can actually die. They don't normally die. If they die, they get, respawned. But they takes away the respawn. So shit is real for both the crawlers and these rich assholes who decide to show up. So it's very interesting all of a sudden. So really, really cool. Really enjoying it. Like I said, 7 hours left. I'm like, God damn, there's so much that's happening. It's wild. It's so cool. So I highly recommend the series for anyone who wants to check it out. It's very entertaining. So
would you
go check it out.
I know you're really into the audio version of it. Would you say if someone isn't into the audio books, are the books worth the read themselves?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like,
I didn't know if the magic sauce came from hearing him narrate it or if it was just the story is genuinely that good.
The story is fantastic. Yeah. And I just think, if you are open to audiobooks, this is a fantastic one because the voice acting makes or breaks an audiobook. Sure. If you got someone bad doing it, you're just like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. But Jeff Hayes does a phenomenal job. He's just absolutely amazing. Voices 99% of the characters. It's incredible what he's able to do with it.
Good deal.
So highly recommend it, y'all.
Love it.
Love it. Well, gang, thanks so much for listening. Appreciate you so much. Be sure to head over to youtube.com/mindgappodcast, hit the like and subscribe button. And, share us around, leave a comment, leave the secret message in the comments, all that sort of stuff. And be sure to hit the link in the description to links to our Discord, links to our Patreon, and links to our merch at Redbubble. And be sure to check out Justin online as well.
On Instagram at Justin_Michael, spelled Mikel. It's the fun way of spelling it. While you're in the online realm, anywhere where you can consume audio podcasts, you can find us. You can consume us there as well. Go ahead and subscribe, share, rate, review, download, all the things that you can do that we ask you to do every week. The big one is sharing. Please just let one person this week, let one person know that we exist. Take the link, email it, text it, send it via messenger pigeon. Who knows? Whatever. Just get someone that has not listened to us to listen to us, and that's going to go a really long way. We really appreciate that. And then twoeast8th.com, 2east8th on Instagram, loveanimprovfilm.com, loveanimprovfilm on Instagram.
Booyah. With that, I'll say, Justin, thank you.
Douglas, thank you.
Listeners, viewers, thank you. And as always, Hy-Vee Chinese.
Mind Gap Podcast.